It really seems that one of the fundamental flaws of human nature is expecting the other person to take care of the problem. There are many problems we have in our global society and just in our world that need fixing and need remedy. Yet many of us, including myself, tend to have this almost subconscious mindset. It's like, yes, we should do something about that or take action, yet it's inconvenient and uncomfortable for us to do so. So we tend to just end up kind of sitting on the couch and hoping someone else will take care of it, and almost expecting that someone else will take care of it and it won't be that bad. And there's so many examples. I mean, it's so common among humans, right? People, it's so common to, there could be a group of people complaining about something, maybe something at their job or place of work, or they could be complaining about something in the government that's corrupt. Or they could say, oh, well, this group of people is doing something really bad, and this is pretty awful, and how dare they, and something should be done to stop them. But it's like they're not going to take action. The people complaining about it and bitching about it, they're not going to be the ones taking action, I would say 9 times out of 10. So identifying the problem is one thing. People can do that without a problem. It's easy to identify an issue. It's easy to identify corruption, to identify dysfunction in society and in the world. But how many people are actually taking action? People act like they're going to take action, but they don't. You could have 2 people getting coffee, talking about all the world's problems. This is a problem here, that's a problem, that's a problem. These are real valid problems. But what do they do after they're getting coffee? They say bye and they go home, and then they, watch a movie or something, or smoke, or drink, or maybe they'll say a prayer. Okay. But, there's a bit of a disconnect there, right? And this seems to be a big issue with human thought and just the way, people are. I mean, just imagine a world where people actually, when they complained about something, they put just as much energy into complaining about the problem, and they took that energy and put it into actual action. Now, climate, for example, that's one example. I mean, how many of us every day, they say, oh my God, the climate, we're destroying the environment. No, our governments are so corrupt, they're bought off by the oil companies, and they don't do anything to fix it. And someone's got to do something about it. And sure, we got people like Greta Thunberg, God bless her. But I'm just saying, most of us, we know this, and we complain about it, and we say, oh, it's dreadful, it's awful. But what are we doing about it? Most of us are doing kind of nothing. And it's like, what would it take us to actually take action on anything of issue, climate change or anything else, anything economic, anything? I mean, what we should all be doing is halting our daily lives, putting that all on pause, all our job or whatever it is we're doing, put that on pause, and we should all be marching, protesting, making a ruckus until the change is needed, until the change that needs to happen happens. But most of us aren't doing that, right? We're just sitting by and twiddling our thumbs and hoping that some really intelligent people just take care of all the problems. But then as you really look at it, those intelligent people that are going to take care of all the problems, they may exist, but they can't do it on their own. There's only so many Greta Thunbergs, right? And so many, and brilliant scientists and really spiritually enlightened people. The masses of people on the planet are not like that. And most people are not spiritually enlightened, and there's plenty of people on the planet who seek joy from destroying things. Whether it's shooting a lion to stuff the head and put it in their stupid living room, or whether it's they get enjoyment from literally, polluting just by using, excessively using technology or products that rely on fossil fuels. These are all just simple examples. And then you can take a bunch of teachers, for example, complaining about the way something's being done at a school they work at. And teachers even have unions. But then what happens is often, the issue doesn't really everyone's too afraid to directly address it on their own. But if all the teachers just got together and did something about it, then it could work. But people seem to be very complacent. I think this is the main issue. People are complacent until something is right in their face. And by then it's almost too late. Or it's just like, it would be so much better if you just took care of the issue as it's starting, instead of waiting for it to magnify and then taking action when you feel like you have no choice but to not take action. Like you have to at that point. But it would be so much better in our world if we could just take the action to nip in the butt any, potential dysfunctional issues, but instead our tendency is to let them grow and magnify until we're forced to deal with them. And that's so dysfunctional. Imagine how much more healthier and happier we could be if we could just learn to take that action, whatever it is, and just to, actually work together, right? Imagine that. Those are my thoughts for today. Namaste.